So at Sonotech, we always pride ourselves of being a patient-centered facility. And so we always go the extra mile to put a smile on the faces of our patients. And we don't just wait for them to be unwell to come to us, but we always strive to ensure that our patients are always in good health. So the month of February is the month of love, and how best can we express our love than to give to our clients? So what we are doing this month of February is to give a 20% discount on all our health packages. Yes, all our health packages. So for our health packages, we have our life packages, and then we have the bronze, the silver, and then the gold packages. So if you walk in from the 1st February to the end of February, you get 20% discount on all our health packages. And we are introducing a very special package for couples as well. We realize that especially the premarital couples, sometimes because of the excitement of getting married and all that, we discuss everything and always forget about our health. So we've come together with a very nice health package for couples, and it's discounted at 30%. So that's the couples package, and we encourage our clients to take advantage of this special package as we go through the month of February. This is our way of saying that we love our clients. This is our way of giving back. This is our way of putting smiles on the faces of our clients. In addition to this, you can also walk in and pay for a loved one. I know 14th is Val's Day. As we think of giving gifts to our clients or to our friends, to our loved ones, let's consider buying a healthcare package at Sonotech for the ones that we love. And on 14th February, we promise all our clients to experience something very extraordinary at Sonotech. Once you come for any service with us, any of our branches, West Hills, Osu, and Tema, you will leave with a special gift. And you can trust us when we say you leave with a special gift. So we wish all of you the best. Let's enjoy the period of love. Let's enjoy the health packages that Sonotech has for us. And as we always say, we are your total healthcare partner for life.
Of course, this is AM Ghana on Adwa Television, where we bring good things to life. And one of those good things that we bring to life is certainly Sonotech's 20% discount on almost all of the services, selected services for couples. Or I earlier on mentioned in the month of April, thanks to Frank who reminded me that I said April. In my head, I said February. He heard April, but it's fine. If you also heard April, then I'm reminding you that it's February, the month of love, that Sonotech is providing you with discounts, mouth-watering discounts, of course, of up to 20% on all the health screening packages to enable you, the beloved clients, live a well and healthy lives this year 2022. This package goes for all couples, all newlyweds, and so for the CK 2021s and for the Intos, and for all the newly wedded couples, and then of course to the couples who have lasted time and over. We want you to be healthy, because health, they say, is wealth. And odokakra, sikakakra, if you have a bit of wealth, then you have some happiness in your love life. And so do call 0242 439467 to find out more details about this package. You can find Sonotech in specific areas across the country, talking across the region, talking about vantage points. So when you go to the West Hills Mall, you find Sonotech there. And then far to the east, we have Sonotech in Tema. And in the central parts of Accra, we have Sonotech in Osu. This is how strategic Sonotech is, just because they want to give you that healthy life that you deserve. And you can contact Sonotech for all other services as well. They have GP and specialist consultation, 2D, 3D, and even 4D ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, endoscopy, digital X-ray, dental X-ray, fluoroscopy, radiology interventions, mammogram, laboratory testing, including the PCR testing, and they are very fast and prompt. Just last year, when I was about to embark on journey to South Africa, it was Sonotech that did that for us. Very prompt, premium service, and we also have a pharmacy. So once you attend the laboratories and access all these services, you don't have to go outside elsewhere. You go and ask for drugs that they will tell you, oh, you're NIBI. You find all of that with Sonotech. Happy February to you. And we here at Adwa Television, of course, will continuously bring good things to your life. Let's go into the newspapers. And I'm joined in by communications rep for the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Collins Asante. And of course, we have Mr. Malik Adama, who speaks for the NDC. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to AM Ghana. You pay for reading my newspaper. Anyway, it's allowed. It's allowed.
It's part of the reason. Say, oh, I'm okay.
Very well, very well. How are we doing?
We are doing well. And how are you too?
Well, I am certainly doing well. It's a month of love, and so I'm looking forward to celebrate very well. Don't worry, I'll tell you about it. So I'll be visiting Sonotech with my special person, you know.
Oh, okay.
Once a while, we need to get ourselves screened, especially, you know, if you're a newly wedded couple or you're even gearing towards it. So you and your wives and, your wives.
Mm-hmm. Wives.
Your wives, because I'm speaking to two of you. And then if you have, you know, other wives as well. I don't know if your faith, you have a wife. Yes. I don't know if your faith allows you to marry more than one. Yes, my faith
allows me to marry more than one. Exactly. But I have a wife.
Right, you have a wife. And so if in case you marry extra, you can take all of them.
But the case has not come yet.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, Collins, how are you doing?
By the grace of God, I'm doing good. Once we are here this morning, and due to the good governance of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, my bro, everything is okay.
Well, we thank God. Malik, you want to say something?
No, I just said, hey.
Oh, you must show.
Make us our want to know.
You see? We will touch on some matters, okay, you know, that are very crucial. We want to look at the Atamils Heritage Fund that was launched recently, and then, if time permits us, would also look into the e-levy, of course, town hall meetings being held. We saw one in Koforidua yesterday, one in Western Region. Where is next? Do you have an idea?
For now, no.
The finance ministry has kept it away from you, but it's fine. we will see how far that
we are trying to circulate it. So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I see that you're doing well. You're doing well. You're doing well. I'm just surprised that we don't pay these attentions before we dare implement. When we get there, we'll talk about it. Oh, Ms. Adama.
Yes.
We saw the NDC, you know, launch the Atamils Heritage Fund. For those who do not know what this is about, kindly...
It's Memorial Heritage.
Yes,
Fund.
Sorry, Memorial Heritage. Yes. I beg your pardon.
Yes.
Memorial Heritage. Kindly take us through. Of course, we will need more explanation from the NDC side. Tell us what it's all about.
Yes, thank you very much. I think briefly, I will just say something small that I know about.
Of course.
Not that into details.
Right.
Yes, because I should have been aware of this very well. But okay. No problem. I'm okay.
Very well.
Yeah, what happened is Atamils has been our president. I think he is the third president of the Fourth Republic. And he passed on very suddenly. And this country wasn't pleasant. The country was in a sorrow. So we celebrated the first anniversary, the second, the third, and I think this year will be the 10th year that he passed on. That was somewhere July, I think 21st, 22nd, one of the days. Good. So friends of Atamils, as well as his colleagues, who are lecturers of the university, and then his close associates and some of the party executives, they decided that if we have such a man who has brilliant idea, whose idea impacts on this nation, then at the 10th anniversary of this man, why won't we have a memorial heritage for this man, which I think it will be something like emoluments for our former president.
Right.
And this is the brain behind it, because the idea of this is that what he stands for and what he brought on board as a president. Atamas, prior to the president, was a lecturer as well as GRA, head of the GRA, Internal Revenue, for decades, for years. And then became the vice president of this country. Under the vice president, we saw VAT. And then VAT was a brain of Professor Mills. Initially, when VAT was being introduced, it was rejected.
Yeah.
I think maybe because of how it was brought. It was withdrawn and repackaged. And then when I went through how VAT, in fact, was brought for the second time, just because of this e-levy somewhere last week, I think when they withdraw it, they rather consulted a very intelligent consultants who are brained in taxation, including he, the good professor. So they went through it over years. So when you remember very well, they hold on for about a year or 2 or 3 before implementing it. So they went through it and then now brought it. So when they brought it, it moved smoothly without any argument. And this is the brain of the good professor. And within this VAT, he also sat down with the then education minister, who was Pio Gabra, and said, if education, every day they will come to the government, give me money, do this for me, do this for me, then why can't we be keeping something small so that we'll be using it to be litigating or mitigating education programs gradually? Why can't we use it? Then let's establish Ghana Education Trust Fund. That's the essence of the GET Fund. So let's do that. So they came together and said, well, if we establish it, it will be good for our education. So they came together and then established the GET Fund. And then some percentage of that goes to the GET Fund. And today, look at where GET Fund has reached. It started somewhere slowly. Look at where GET Fund has reached today. GET Fund became the source of our educational structures, even these vehicles, buses and co that have been given to
infrastructure for most of our
education. Yes, that I use infrastructure, and then this our vehicles as well as books and co scholarships. Look at this from GET Fund. On all these policies were the brain of the good professor.
Great.
Yes. And when he came to office as a president, we saw. I recall somewhere last year after the election petition 2020, when the lead lawyer of the NDC, Chacho, was asked about the prof, said he and the wife went to the prof and said, Prof, if you do what the previous government did, just to turn the law upside down to get me behind the bars, I'll be one of the people to campaign against you. And he said, oh, do you think I will do that? I'm always against such things. So why will I go this far? I will never and ever do something of that sort. And truly, during his ruling, we never saw that. What we rather heard was asked on. And the then Chief Justice, who Justice Georgina Wood, when she went to rather also endorse the Book of Condolences, and when she was interviewed, I quote her that Professor Moss was one of the presidents who does not interfere in their work. And when their salary was poor, he told the good professor. The professor told her to put it in writing and bring it. When she brought it, the professor did something about it. And also, she complained about their structures. And the professor started putting up that court complex, which cost about 50 million, I stand to be correct, either Ghana cedis or dollars. So today we have the complex. So if such a man passes on, and 10 years down the line, we want to have at least a monument for him. He deserves.
Right.
People will learn some of the things that he did for this nation.
Very well. Thank you, Malik. Now, let me come to Collins. Of course, you belong to the New Patriotic Party, but we were under his leadership at the time. 10 years on, do you bear any specific memories of, late President Mills, and your thoughts about the heritage, memorial heritage that was launched recently?
Well, let me take opportunity and say good morning to your viewers, and say good morning to the good people of Ablekuma Masat constituency where I'm from, and then to the family of MPP. Well, I remember 10 years ago, we wake up one day only to hear the sad news. One afternoon around 4, I think it was Wednesday or so, the passing away of the sitting president, which was a big blow to the nation, because I think that he happened to be the first sitting president to pass on.
While in power.
Yeah, was in power. So it's unfortunate. In fact, it became, sad news to the entire nation. So if today we are celebrating or trying to honor him, I think he deserves it. Because we all know history tells us the behavior of former President John Atta Mills. He's a man of a unifier, a man of integrity, a man who believes in all. I remember when he was in power, he tried to maintain some of our people in his administration. In fact, he cut across the political advice. There was a time, I remember, he even slept in the house of Yasa Fomafo. So he's not someone who believes this person is an MPP, this person is an NDC, but he believes in all. So for them to come out with such a memorial heritage, to me, is a good thing. But what baffles me is how and why NDC did that. That is what baffles me. How the man was treated when he was alive. Such a man, we all heard he was put at the back of a pickup and taken to maternity before he passed on.
Taken to maternity?
Yes, we all heard that story. From the
Pickup?
Oh, come on. From the castle.
I'm quite lost on that story, but
really?
then yes. Let's move on. You're making your opinion.
From the castle to the 37, we heard where he was taken to them before he was discovered, and the treatment they gave him, the story all came out. And to some of us, we were expecting after his demise will bring unity and peace to the NDC as a political party. But what are we seeing now after his moving on? Those who took over the party or took over the government? I'm talking about the Mahama and his boys. Sidelined his boys. And that is the more reason why at the launching of the heritage, Anindowo didn't go, because they believe he was strong boy of Atta Mills. And we hear him complaining about how the man has been treated after his death. The neglecting of the Asumdue Park by Mahama. We have to come and then renovate it for it to look lively. So to me, the memory of Atta Mills still is fresh in mind, because if for nothing at all, we used to hear Asumdue Hine. So 10 years down the line, it's unfortunate, but all what I would say is the launching of the heritage should bring the NDCs back, NDCs together. There should be a unity among them. They shouldn't allow the taking over of his administration by a group of people to divide them, but rather bring
taking over of his administration by which group of people?
By Mahama boys. If you go into NDC, there's a deep crack in NDC between Mahama and
you know about that?
How
do you know about all this? Do you have spies in the NDC?
But they are our friends.
Oh,
we know. You ask yourself today, where is Solomon Kansa, where is Kwaku Anidoho, and the rest.
We know the position of Kwaku Anidoho.
And the rest, there are more to it, you see. So I will plead with them that they should let the launching of the memorial bring all of them. In fact, all of them should have been at the launching, but how come some were not there? So I will plead with our brothers to make sure in celebrating him, they bring all the party people together. That's what I can say.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Asante. Now, Alex, so he has made a very, good point. The whole essence of this Atta Mills Memorial Heritage is, to establish that non-profit, non-partisan organization in memory of Prof. Mills. Also to as a way relive his some of his principles, especially his principles about peace and national unity. Now, as a man we are trying to epitomize 10 years on, based on some of these principles that he has lived on: transparency, accountability, and what have you. Unfortunately, after the very concern of epitomizing his memory comes issues from the party. What is warranting all of this? Are we really living the legacy of Prof. Mills within the NDC?
Thank you. I don't see any, let's say, disagreement or challenges so far as this heritage memorial is concerned. Never. At least, however the case may be, there might be one.
You see,
I'm coming. However the issue is, there might be one or two people who have a diverse view. It is there.
Right.
He mentioned Kweku. Kweku in NDC, everybody knows what Kweku says and Kweku's view anytime. Kweku, after
Kweku
I'll get there.
NDC, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'll get there.
Okay.
Kweku under John Mama, just the previous decade, he was the deputy general secretary. He was. That was under John Dramani Mahama. He just left less than 4 years. That's about 3 years or 3.5 years.
You sponsor a candidate again?
Because he was, of course, yes, it's competition. You understand? It's competition. I can bring a candidate, you can bring a candidate. It's competition. If they like you, they will give it to you. If they don't like you, they vote against you. You go and prepare and come back. But when you lose an election, you don't get angry with those who vote against you. Remember, they voted for you. And they have a reason for not voting for you again. We've lost an election. Doesn't mean we should be in loggerheads with our constituency because we lost an election.
You can't be a loggerhead.
That is exactly where I'm coming from. So he was the deputy general secretary just last 4 years, which is 6 years after the president died. President Mills died. He was the general.
The way you are touching on Kwaku Anidoho is
I'm coming because when he mentioned the name, so I just want to deal with that. When he mentioned Kweku and Solomon Kansa, right? Good. And then I wanted him to know that Kweku some time ago hold one of the highest executive position in the party. That's 6 years down after the prof died, which is a fact. So what happened next? Nobody maltreated him. No mama boy or who boy mishandled Kweku. That thing never occurred. And he was in his position for the whole 4 years. Nothing happened. The only thing we had was the incident at the police headquarters, which is the police and the NDC, his arrest. We all went there. People supported him. You saw how people massed there. We supported him before he had a bill. So what has changed? Maybe his opinion might be different. How he wants things to be done might be different. But one opinion doesn't change things. You bring your opinion, others will bring their opinion. But we look at the majority and go by it. So you cope with them. But yours will not be taken always. So the fact that yours has not been taken doesn't mean what we are doing is wrong. You understand? That is how come we vote for. Even Parliament, they vote for. And they go by the majority vote. It's finished. So in this case, we don't have any grievances or problem with Kweku. Absolutely no. And such a program, Kweku will not be invited. Kweku should have been part of it. So if you stay back, you are not part of it. Then you say it is the NDC Mama side. No, we're from the Mama because he served under Mama. You were executive member, so we're from Mama. This. You were executive member.
Are you saying that there are no such factions as
which
Tamils boys and the Mama boys like Collins says that
wait. We also
Collins, hold on.
It's not true. A ranking member for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Ablakwa. Who groomed Ablakwa? Is it not Professor Mons? Is it not with John? Ejenin Boateng. Is it to John? Is it not Professor Mons who groomed them with Ablakwa together, Deputy Minister of Information? Fifi Korte. Is it not with John?
You can establish everybody. So where are the you can establish premises as a base for the fact that to back your claim that there are no factions. There are no factions. Of course, Atamils trained Kofi Anido when Kofi Anido is no longer with the NDC. Over his beliefs that he thinks that the current Mahama-led NDC is not going by the Atamils principles.
But he was with us. Why didn't he also contribute? He was with us. That's to establish that. I'm happy you are asking that question. That's to establish that, of course. I'm coming. It is not that Atamils raised this. No, these are people who have. Where I wanted you to get it right is that he might make his comments, or he might disagree with one or two things which are normal. Okay. And I just want you to understand that the Mama is not treating anybody who is perceived to be Atamils group. That is why I wanted to. I could have mentioned as many as 1,000, and we can't name 2. But also remember, executive position is something that when you venture and you lose, and you are not strong, you fade from the system. Okay. If you don't contribute,
so we don't have a Mahama faction and an Atamils faction.
We never had it. We don't even have it.
About the faction within the Mahama,
no, where is the faction? There is no faction in Mahama.
You are agreeing that even within the Mahama faction, there seems to be some division about
what I'm trying to tell you is that as a human being,
some people try to solicit some other people to battle current, should I say current leader? Honestly.
The planners,
of course. Already.
Let me come in.
We are not there yet. This tells you that there is a clear faction.
No, you are getting it wrong.
I want you to tell us about it.
You are getting it wrong. There is no faction in the NDC as I speak to you today.
Okay. Well, but kindly hold on it. We have Mr. Adekoka on the line. We want to speak to him about. Right, he's a Greater Accra Regional Chairman for the NDC. We want to speak about this very concern. Honorable, good morning, and thanks for joining us on AM Ghana.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And so, days after the commemoration of the Atamils Memorial Heritage, comes concerns about the idea being stolen and a whole lot. Where do you stand with this?
The echo of your,
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Somebody is talking on the line as well.
Yes. Guys, to the MCR, I beg you. Sorry about that. Now, I was trying to find out, where do you stand with this whole fracas between the NDC and former Deputy General Secretary for the party about the Atamils Memorial Heritage?
I don't think there's any fracas.
No,
the mills was a product of NDC. And the mills was not a product of an individual. So it's very important that we all come together and celebrate the life and the contribution that President Mills did for Ghana. I personally knew Professor Mills before he even became a president. You know, he was the board chairman of Accra Asofo. And I was the secretary for Accra Youth Olympics. And on numerous occasions, we met at the doing the football matches and other activities. So before President Mills became the president of Ghana, he was actively involved in so many things in the country. So this Buhaha, I think, is uncalled for. It's about time, 10 years after his death, it's about time there's harmony, peace for everybody to celebrate. These insults and abuses and that kind of thing. I'm sure the man in his grave would even be wondering what is going on. But we are mere mortals, you know. We are here today, we are here, tomorrow we are gone. And it is what we leave behind that is important. It is not what people clamor for about us. It's what we leave behind. That is necessary, right? And no individual or no group of people can come and change what the person leave behind. For us all, to be sober and have a sober reflection. Look, this country, where we are now, we are in a very precarious situation. Look at what is happening all around us. You know, who is contagious, right? And it is contagious because of the behavior of people, because of the behavior and the suffering of people. That is what matters now. What is happening to the living? The living, what is happening to them? That is what we should be worried about.
We are certainly worried about, but we are asking these questions because of your position in the party, which is why we want to find clarity to some of these disturbances. I'm surprised that you admit there is a brouhaha, but you don't admit that there is a fracas emanating from all of this.
I mean, the difference between the brouhaha and the fracas.
They are all disturbances, aren't they? So one
brouhaha, right? Is why are you worrying yourself?
Yes.
Fracas, you are making too much noise to disturb the dead.
Yes. So you see, now some worrying tweets from former Deputy General Secretary for the party, Kokwani Doho. He has tweeted. He says that the entire idea of the Heritage Fund was stolen from his own thoughts, and so you will see some tweets and the name calling and all that. He said, "People of Ghana, respectfully, please check out the color of this fake and criminally minded pretenders." And of course, he's referring to the NDC, and he posts some logos and all that, which he says that in another post he said, "Thieves, they are so incompetent." I mean, what?
You know what? You know what? I told you that earlier on. Everybody has his own vision. Everybody has his own views about Professor Mills. I told you the time I met Professor Mills, long ago before he became a president. You understand? So can I say that I can also come out individually and owe my allegiance or my what do you call it? All Athanos? No. Athanos came into limelight because he was the president of the Republic of Ghana. As such, he then becomes a property of Ghana, isn't it? Hello?
Yes, I'm here with you.
Are you with me?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, what is happening, I think, is about time. We all have sober reflection. Professor Mills is a man of peace. And I shudder to say, think how he will feel in the grave with what is happening.
Okay. Well, one thing that bothers, if these ideas were not indeed taken from somebody, how And why is it that 10 years after the demise of the former president, we are now looking at, setting up a heritage, a memorial heritage for him, when indeed some within these 10 years, some 6, 7 years ago, John Dramani Mahama was president. He was in power. What is the brain behind this?
10 years is a milestone. 10 years is a milestone, and that is what you celebrate. You ensure that the 10 years is not a period of reflection and introspection. You understand? So, I've just told you that the moment we start making this an individualistic project, it becomes a problem.
Okay.
It is the totality. It is cumulative. It is for all the means to honor our presidents and all. How long did it take Ghana to ensure that Kwame Nkrumah is immortalized? How many years did it take Ghana to do that? President came, government came, some even banished him from the country. And it took one president to come and have a monument over so many years after his death to have the Kwame Nkrumah memorial, isn't it? So it's not a one-day journey.
Right.
It takes a couple of years.
Right.
And I'm saying that on the 10th anniversary, it becomes important. And the whole nation comes together. That is why what you saw at the University of Ghana was non-partisan. Not even the president of Ghana sending a representative. President Kufuor and a representative. And it can say that we have to honor our national heroes. And if we take it personally and start naming or attributing them to individuals, then the focus is lost.
Right.
Well, then you don't have the whole nation coming together to honor our heroes.
Right. Well,
because that individualistic approach. That's not saying that we should stop and come together and do a thing that concerns whatever it is probably great.
Right. We pray that a decade of memorial of the former president would bind the NDC and even the nation further together. We're very grateful for your time, Honorable Adekoka.
Thank you.
Right. So that was.
I'm secretly far away from Ghana.
Oh, I see. Well, we wish you all the best wherever you are. And when you are coming, bring some goodies for your boys, eh?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, that was Honorable Adekoka, Greater Accra Regional Chairman for the NDC. I've personally had a one-on-one interview with him before at the party's office, and he's very well-vexed person, vested with knowledge about the NDC. And he has said that we can't treat the former president as a personal property. Do you agree? Let me come to you, Collins.
You see, of course, I agree with him in the way that former president must need to be celebrated by the nation because of his state. He cuts across the political advice, like I said. So he needs to be celebrated. But, you see, there's this proverb that says that that's also wada a bonwa. You see,
what's that to it? For those who don't understand,
yes.
I can't.
And what it means is that it is that if your mother is dead and you are denying that she's not dead but sleeping, when the rotting starts and then the scent starts coming, you all hear it. What it means is that no, they are still denying their cracks, and he's trying to justify the brouhaha and then the fracas or whatever between the two. There is in NDC, and they are refusing to accept that. Look,
but you agree with Mr. Adama here, and you agree with Mr. Adekoka that of course, first off, the person who is bringing all of these brouhaha is no longer part of the party. Now, secondly, Atta Mills, former President Atta Mills, is not his personal property. All right, and so he cannot treat him as though he's the only person who wishes to epitomize the now this also, I mean, hearing from Honorable Adekoka, this beats the entire essence of a memorial heritage for the former president, because he's not even a party asset anymore, but a national asset. So why does Kwaku Anidoho want to make this a personal case? That is the point. If you wish well, you wanted to do it, it couldn't happen. Somebody has done it and done it on a larger scale. What is your problem? Do you mean well, or you have your own parochial interest in all of this? I guess this is what we should be looking at.
I have no parochial interest.
No,
I have no parochial interest, but and this is our brothers. So sometimes when we see them in the situation, we try to help them. You see, but what Adi said, and I can tell you for a fact that they are trying to cover the whole situation. I remember he is saying that Atta belongs to the nation now, but as you know, he belongs to a family as well. So before the nation owns it, the family also has to.
That means the party doesn't come in at all.
Yes. Now, if the party comes in, I'm coming. Now, if the party comes in, then they all know that yes, the man was coming from a political party who won power for the political party, and then a group of people took over the power. That is where the angle where I am coming from. When John Dramani Mahama took over after his death, the kind of treatment affected on his boys, on Atame's boys, is what has generated into the fracas and the brouhaha in the NDC now. Let me give you typical. I'm coming. Let me give you typical. In Ablek Masad constituency, my constituency, where I come from, during the primaries between how do you call it, Wisdom, and then Oko Van Der Poel. Oko Van Der Poel is the boy of John Mahama. They sponsor Oko Van Der Poel against Wisdom. Oko Van Der Poel. I'm talking about. Both of them are for Professor Mills. Both of them. Oh please. Both Van Der Poel are Professor Mills. Wait. You see, when it comes to this point, there are people who can pitch camp or switch camp at any moment from now.
Of course.
Yes. So when they were going into the premise, that is exactly what happened. He, at this speaking, during the original election, he against Mali Spain, Charles Amatego Shatawale's father in the election. We saw the mafia they play against Shatawale's father because he belongs to the most administration. Please, I'm coming. You have the opportunity to speak. You ask yourself, where is the former Central Regional Chairman of NDC? How do you call it? Alote Joko. They have done the same thing. Yes. So if you see, I believe they are deceiving themselves. It's better they will take a clue from what has happened and try to settle this thing. Because you see, he's talking as if the whole thing is only Kwaku. It's not only Kwaku alone. It's a group of people.
See, Kwaku is leading them.
I can't say Kwaku is leading them. Kwaku is talking as an individual. And maybe the rest have decided to keep quiet because Solo has decided to keep quiet.
Maybe they agree with
because if you talk, they will come for you. No. When Alote started talking, I'm coming. When Alote started talking, they've issued a suspension letter to Alote. They are trying to do the same to Kwaku. So Solo and the rest will keep quiet.
They can't do that to Kwaku. Is no longer
but they made an attempt. Let's look at something. A group of, if you just those who organize, they have
just a minute on that, because I mean this is coming from your camp. That's why I want us to wrap up.
Yes, I just want to
quickly
that a group of academics, professional colleagues, students, family, and appointees of former President John Evans Atta Mills has announced the establishment of the John Evans Atta Mills Memorial Heritage.
So these are the party, family,
that's academics, professional colleagues, students, and then the former appointees. So these are the people who came together. That is how come it wasn't partisan. You see, because the academics are there, the professionals are there, the professors, the lawyers, the lawyers and accountants. You get it? It doesn't go with everybody. Those things are mentioned. Those things are mentioned. The other people who established. Well, no, if they could decide was a little part, was a little respect. Look at what you are asking. Anyway, it's a look at what you are asking is too strange. No, that is the loss of the. No, you don't have to go into that direction. Your camp is two serious cracks into pieces. We don't have to go there. I don't want to go cracks into power. Oh, fine. Okay. Please. And you lose like
this is not what we are about this morning.
It's just that
we are about
and you tell me
heritage.
NDC today,
our prayer, thank you,
is solid.
Thank you. So let's
Let's
start.
there is no cracks.
Right.
Kweku is very unfortunate.
Okay.
You spoke about Musa election. Have you gone into an election before?
Colin says that there are no cracks in the NDC.
You've lost fight election. So did you fight? Did you fight? I have
What I'm happy about is that
Yes.
you have a member of the opposing party to yours being very sentimental about your party. It means that he cares about your party.
No, we don't have a problem.
He's wishing you well. So he's saying
what
that
kind of well?
cracks.
There are no cracks. So we are telling you there are no cracks.
For an opponent, I was thinking that he would be more interested in, fueling.
But we don't have it. No, where is the crack? That's the question. Where is the crack?
So keep your cement.
Everybody knows where Alote belongs.
Your own cracks in your party.
Everybody knows what Alote does. Alote said he will campaign for the NPP openly. So what do you want us to do with Alote?
I don't know if we still have time to continue with this conversation, because I wanted us to look at the
Yes, it's important to talk about the
levy. But we have some other interviews to conduct. Unless my producer gives me a fair one, let me take a quick detour.
10 minutes.
And if we have to do this, we'll continue with the conversation. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back after this break.
So at Sonotech, we always pride ourselves of being a patient-centered facility. And so we always go the extra mile to put a smile on the faces of our patients. And we don't just wait for them to be unwell to come to us, but we always strive to ensure that our patients are always in good health. So the month of February is the month of love. And how best can we express our love than to give to our clients? So what we are doing this month of February is to give a